So I'm going to talk about how to survive off the grid. And this book is too small and has too many pictures to actually help you survive off the grid. So
maybe surviving off the grid is just that easy.
No,
that you can,
and they will. They have said in the book repeatedly that it's a lot more difficult than you think. So and it's like, yep. And this book will not. There's what it does. What this book does is give you a little idea of each sort of thing that you might have to know, or that's good to know. But it doesn't give you enough of anything. So there is one thing here that's useful on page 38-39. There's gravity-fed water systems, so that's useful, and it shows you how to basically set that up. And but then there's things like make moonshine and more. And yes, it's useful to know how a still works. So this is page 170, 171. And if you're wanting to drink alcohol and you are living off the grid, way off in the middle of nowhere, then maybe you want to try to build that. But that's really, you don't need to. Nobody needs to make moonshine
unless
anymore.
they're thoroughly alcoholic. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's really, there's a lot of things in here that, I mean, there's some huge pictures, which are, this is really artfully done, and
yeah, it's pretty good
great.
comic book
yeah,
stuff.
Exactly. But this book is not thick at all, and a lot of it's devoted to pictures. So that should give you an idea, really, that this is not gonna. If you're saying that's it, I've had enough, get in the car, we're going, and that's it. We're all we need is this book. We're gonna do her. No, you're not. Not with this one.
You'll end up like that Supertramp in that movie.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. So now I forgot to mark the page. Anyway, there's some gardening stuff in here that is useful, but I mean, they tell you to plant your own nuts, trees, and stuff like that.
Apples out of a tree?
That's a very good idea.
Well, we should get that for our
tree. Get that.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than me going up there and shaking her.
Yeah. But you were talking about nuts and stuff like that.
Yeah, and different things, like how to grow different things. And so they're talking about square foot gardening in here, which that's great. And they say this is really popular for urban gardens. And yep, if you want to get off the grid and you're living in the urban environment, that's where you start. You start in your own yard so that you can see, in your own home, and you can see just how hard it is to do it on your own. So the square foot gardening, I would say that's useful for somebody in the urban environment. So this book is really what it's designed for. The only thing that this book is useful for is for people in the urban setting who want to get off the grid, but should use this in the urban setting first. And maybe not the still, because I don't think you can legally do that in the urban setting. But understand how hard it's going to be to actually live off the grid. So there's some medicinal plants listed on page 196 and 197, and that's really, if you're taking this into the great unknown, and you're like, oh yeah, here's some drawing of birch leaves and lavender and comfrey and this and that, and it's like, I know what those things look like, but you sure aren't going to, and you shouldn't be going by this